good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for being here on this precious afternoon. So today, the topic that I was asked to speak to you about is how NISM tries to professionalize the securities markets in India through its certification initiatives. So what are the various NISM certifications, how to approach these certifications, and for which market segment, which certificate is applicable, and not only for somebody who clears the certification, otherwise also for knowledge enhancement also, how NISM's various study material is beneficial to you as a content creator, how you can use that and build upon that. So without much ado, I'll jump direct into, let's dive into the content. So I hope all of you can see.
I will just jump in, sir. कि
Please.
सर इंग्लिश में बात करेंगे सब लोगों के लिए, हम इंग्लिश और हिंदी मिला के बात करेंगे सर। और बीच बीच में मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं आके सर जो बोल रहे हैं अगर उसका एक सिंप्लीफिकेशन हो हिंदी में आपको बता दूंगा, ताकि आप लोगों को कोई परेशानी ना हो, चीज क्या हो रहा है और किस तरीके से हम आगे बढ़ रहे हैं उसको समझने में। प्लीज कंटिन्यू सर।
Yes, so this is just a quick summary of all the NISM certifications to place before you. आपके सामने आप पूरा देख सकते हैं all the NISM certifications, 26 different certifications NISM offers, starting from currency derivatives, various derivatives offerings we have, different certifications in operations domain में, किसी को sales में और mutual fund distribution, PMS distribution, उसमें related to that there are certifications offered by NISM. And on the operation side, we have depository operations, securities operations, and on the merchant banking side, similar. So like that, very diverse. This gives a broad picture of how diversified our market is. It's not just that NISM is offering these certifications. It also conveys that how diverse the products and services that Indian securities market, how mature it is, and how much of diversified product profile it contains. So each one has a lot of breadth of products as well as depth of products. So for us to understand this, when we want to talk about a particular product or give a good advice to a client, we need to have first of all, for ourselves, we need to have an understanding of these products in depth, right? So that is what the NISM's primary objective is. NISM is mainly hoping that through different certifications, it enhances the overall knowledge level of various intermediaries in the market, जो brokers है, distributors है, advisors है, ये market में, इन सबका knowledge level enhance हो जाए और उनके benefits ultimately investor protection में और investor को better service देने में कामयाब रहे. So that's the hope, that's the objective of NISM. As you can see, with that objective, the fee you can see here in the second column, the fee is mostly 1,500 rupees. So these certificates are not kept as very inaffordable that ये सबको आसान होना चाहिए, सबका affordable hona chahiye. So that's why the certificate cost you will see as 1,500 rupees mostly. And these are all multiple choice based examinations with 2-hour duration. Most of the exams have 100 marks as a total marks for the exam. Out of that, pass marks for different exams are like 60 marks. For some other exams, pass mark is 50. That is to pass that examination. If you take an example of mutual fund distributor, the pass mark is 50. So if out of 100 questions for 100 marks, if someone scores 50 marks as a net score, then they will pass the exam and NISM will give the certificate of mutual fund distributors. For equity derivatives, the pass mark is given as 60. So that means you have to have a net score of 60 or above to pass the exam. All the certification comes with a validity of 3 years. So this is a quick snapshot. It's not that we are trying to convey everything in this screen itself. We'll move ahead and then learn more about this certification. We'll discuss each one of them individually, for whom it is beneficial, who should do that, for whom it is mandated by the regulator, without which a person cannot function in the market. So all these things we'll see.
सर अगर मैं एक सवाल पूछना चाहूँ इस स्लाइड पे, जो मुझे आ रहे हैं सवाल इस स्लाइड के ऊपर, कि सर यही 26 कोर्सेस हैं क्या?
जी.
These are the 26 courses. इनमें से किसी भी एक पे क्या आप सारे में अप्लाई कर सकते हैं सर?
नहीं अमराव जी, ऐसा है कि suppose somebody wants to be a equity dealer, they wants to place orders in the stock exchange, in the equity derivative segment. Then for them, NISM Series 8 equity derivative certification is mandatory. Because in one certification, if NISM tries to cover the knowledge requirement of all the entire securities markets in India, it will become too huge and it becomes too unmanageable for the person to clear the exam also.
तो सर
And
ऐसा कुछ है क्या कि अगर समझ लीजिए मैं रिसर्च एनालिस्ट भी बनना चाहूं
हम्म,
और अगर मैं समझ लीजिए डेरिवेटिव में भी मैं जाना चाहूं तो
हम्म,
मैं मल्टीपल एग्जाम्स के लिए अपियर हो सकता हूं?
जी कर सकते हैं, इसके लिए
और उसमें
कोई
कुछ
एंट्री
डिस्काउंट,
कोई
उसमें कुछ डिस्काउंट या फिर कुछ ऐसा कॉम्बो
आ,
है कि 4 कोर्सेस एक साथ अप्लाई कर सकता हूँ, ऐसा
नहीं
कुछ?
जी, एज ऑफ नाउ वी हैव ओनली दिस, एज यू कैन सी द फी बहुत ही अफोर्डेबल रखा है, इट्स नॉट एक्सपेंसिव एट ऑल।
जी जी
सो इसमें फर्दर डिस्काउंट्स उसका कोई स्कोप नहीं है, बट
जी।
दिस इज अ फी।
ओके सर।
And there is no eligibility criteria or entry requirement. All a person needs is a PAN number in his name, because PAN is our unique identifier, and we verify the person's identity that the same person who is applying that with the so and so name, he is really that so and so person, and he is only coming to the examination center and giving the examination and finally getting the certificate. It's the same person throughout the entire life cycle.
जी
Right, to
सर।
ensure that we take a PAN to verify the person's identity. So all a person needs is his own photograph and a PAN with him. Apart from that, there's no eligibility criteria. So as you have asked the question, a
जी
person can easily take like 10 certificates if you want, or 20 certificate if you want. There's no barrier on that. We don't stop
जी।
anybody from doing that. A
ओके
person can easily do equity derivative certificate as well as mutual fund distributors and also research analyst certification. So he or she is free to do that.
डन सर। ओके सर,
Yeah.
थैंक यू। ओके।
Thank you. Yeah. Moving to the next slide, just a quick snapshot of, now we have seen how diversified the market is. Now let's see how big the market is also. Like Indian market is not small. We have evolved over a period of more than a century's history. We have as an Indian stock market, and so many people are involved in this market. Their livelihoods are connected with this market. We have like close to 5,000 stockbrokers in the, if you take the equity spot segment. If you take a equity derivative segment, we have 3,500 plus stockbrokers involved. And there may be numerous other sub-brokers who are associated with the stockbrokers. And then we have 1,300 plus investment advisors who are registered with SEBI. These are registered investment advisors. There are around 800 depository participants, 200 plus merchant bankers who are involved in the primary and primary issues uh, of various shares. Then portfolio managers, we have 400 plus portfolio managers who are offering PMS services in our markets. Foreign portfolio investors, we have 11,000 plus people. And asset management companies, these are our mutual fund companies, mutual fund houses. We have 47 mutual fund houses. Mutual fund distributors are more than 1,30,000 people, 30,000 mutual fund distributors who are registered with AMFI today. Right. So as we can see, the diversified product portfolio is also very diversified, as well as the number of market participants, the market intermediaries are also huge. So how SEBI as a regulator ensures that all these people who are involved in as market intermediaries, they are dealing with the clients and they are providing some kind of a client advisory and they are providing service to the clients. How regulator ensures that they are dealing with the good interest of the client and they are aware of what they are doing. It's not like a hardware business or a cement shop or a paint shop that I open today and then tomorrow I don't like it, so I'll move into some other. Today I'm selling paints and tomorrow I'll start selling a hardware or steel. It's not like that. As you all know, the health and wealth, these are the two factors which gives the maximum pain to a person. The deterioration of a health and the deterioration of a wealth. These two things pains a lot. I hope you all agree with that. So how to ensure that whatever we are dealing with in the market and whatever the client advisory we are providing, we are doing it with the right knowledge base also. If we ourselves as a market intermediaries are not aware of what the product is about and to whom it is suitable, not every product is suitable to everybody. Derivatives is not suitable to everybody. Right. In mutual fund space also, equity funds may not be suitable to everybody, and then debt funds may not be suitable to everybody, or everybody needs a mix of both the equity and debt and a little bit of other products, hybrid products. Right. So to ensure that everybody has certain minimum knowledge benchmark, that's where the need for certification is. So the market, as we have seen, it's a dynamic market. It keeps on changing. It keeps on evolving. As a market intermediaries, as a people who have associated with this market and whose livelihoods are connected with this market, unless we evolve along with the market, there is no survival for us. We have to keep on evolving with this market. That means we have to keep learning continuously. The technology is advancing. A lot of financial innovations are happening. So technology innovations are happening. 20 years back, if somebody wouldn't have heard of the trading on a sitting in anywhere outside Bombay through a trading terminal. And 10 years before, there was no, the people wouldn't have believed if somebody said that on mobile phone, you can trade using your own mobile phone, right? So all these things happened in a very recent past, and the technology keeps evolving. There is no stopping technology. So we have to evolve along with the technology. We can't just hope that things don't change and at our current knowledge base, we keep doing good. If we have to survive in this market, we have to keep evolving with the market. So we have to understand the complexity and the new products which are coming, new innovations which are happening in the market, and the product and technology innovations also happening. So the regulator also keep learning as the market keeps changing, as the technology keeps evolving. The regulator also come out with the regulations to regulate that the new innovations and new complexities that evolved in the market. So the need of certification, why the certification is required. A well-informed, competent and trustworthy cadre of securities market professionals, whom you are all either are going to be in near future. You guys being the well-informed yourself, and you are competent and you are trustworthy professionals, your professionalism is very much important for a well-functioning securities markets in the country. Without you having the right knowledge, the securities market can't progress. The client protection will not happen. For that, one uniform standard across market entities is required, which is fair and uniform to everybody. A knowledge benchmark, which is credible knowledge benchmark, that everybody is aware of this much of knowledge about the products that they are selling, the mutual fund or other products that they are distributing. So they're aware of this minimum knowledge benchmark so that the client's interests are protected. That is a regulatory objective. Apart from market growth, investor protection is most important. Unless investors' interests are taken care of, the investor won't come back to the market. So that is detrimental to everybody in the entire ecosystem. So it's in our own interest that our investor comes back to us. For that, we need to be knowledgeable. If the investor is also continuously learning, if tomorrow the investor knows more than you, why should he comes to you and seek your advice, right? So you have to continuously keep learning so that you always is at the upfront of the market. You know whatever is the latest happening in the market, so that you are more knowledgeable than your investor at all points of time, and you will be able to guide your investor in the right path. This will help enhancing the investor protection, which is all our interest. So to implement this, in 2007, SEBI has formulated a new regulation called SEBI CAPSM regulation. This CAPSM is certification of associated persons in securities markets. So this regulation details out what are all the certification requirements required, who has to do the certification, at what periodicity one has to come for renewal of the certificate, what are the different channels for renewal of your certificate. First time you gave the exam and passed the exam, so the certificate comes with 3-year validity. And after that, you get 2 modes of renewal of certificate. If you want to come through examination again, you can come and pass the exam and get a certificate which again 3-year renewal validity. Or alternatively, once you have a first certificate, then you can renew through attending a CPE program, which is a training program. By attending a training program also, you can renew your certificate for a further period of 3 years. So all these things are defined in the CAPSM regulations, and for NISM, this is the guiding light for NISM to implement its certification program. So SEBI takes its guidance from SEBI CAPSM regulations 2007.
सर थोड़ा ये सीपी प्रोग्राम के बारे में जो आपने अभी बताया, अगर इसके बारे में अगर आप थोड़ा बताएंगे, एक सवाल मुझे आ रहा है, जैसे जैसे आ रहा है मैं पूछ रहा हूँ सर।
जी
अगर थोड़ा सा उस पे, और थोड़ा सर अगर हिंदी मिक्स हो सके तो बहुत अच्छा होगा हमारे लिए।
I'll be conscious of that.
थोड़ा सा रिक्वेस्ट आ रहा है, अगर हो सके तो बहुत अच्छा होगा
जी। मेरा हिंदी थोड़ा नॉट सो गुड, सो मैं ट्राई करूंगा जी।
सर
जिधर भी आप भी जंप इन कर लीजिए एंड आप भी एक्सप्लेन कर लीजिए wherever you want me to stop.
जी सर,
राइट। सो सीपीई प्रोग्राम बेसिकली, और सीपीई के लिए मैं बाद में आ जाऊं उसमें, वी हैव स्लाइड्स ऑन दैट।
जी सर,
जस्ट अ क्विक ओवरव्यू हियर। NISM सर्टिफिकेशन, सपोज आपने अभी 2023 दिसंबर में म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एग्जाम NISM सीरीज 5A म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एग्जाम पास किया है, राइट। सो आपको NISM का सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा विद 3-year वैलिडिटी। सपोज आप 1 दिसंबर 2023 को पास किया है, तो आपको सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा विच ए वैलिडिटी टिल 30th of November 2026, the 3-year validity. Then when your certificate is expiring, अब 2026 में है अभी, 2026 अक्टूबर सितंबर अक्टूबर में है, तो another 2-3 months में आपका सर्टिफिकेट एक्सपायर हो जाएगा. But as per regulatory requirement, if you want to continue as a mutual fund distributor, at all points of time, आपके पास हमेशा एक valid certificate of mutual fund distributor होना जरूरी है. So to ensure that, आपको 2 रास्ते होंगे इधर. आपको फिर से आके सेम म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एग्जामिनेशन एज पर दैट डे सिलेबस आप फिर से दे सकते हैं, और वो एग्जाम पास करके आपको सर्टिफिकेट फिर से सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा फॉर 3-year पीरियड. अल्टरनेटिवली आप एक सीपीई प्रोग्राम, एनएसएम ऑल ओवर द कंट्री सीपीई ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स कंडक्ट करती है, ऑनलाइन भी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स कंडक्ट करती है. वो ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स भी अटेंड करेंगे तो भी सेम 3-year वैलिडिटी के आपका सर्टिफिकेट रिन्यू कर सकते हैं. सो फर्स्ट टाइम आपको सर्टिफिकेट एग्जामिनेशन के थ्रू पास करना होगा, उसके बाद आप सीपीई प्रोग्राम के थ्रू और एग्जाम पास करके 2 रास्ते मिलेंगे एट द एंड ऑफ द 3rd year. आप दोनों रास्ते में कोई भी रास्ते से आप आपका सर्टिफिकेट रिन्यू कर सकते हैं. Right, Amrabaji, any further questions on this, or we can come back to CP at the end of the session?
जी, बिल्कुल.
Right. Moving forward, what is the need for professionalism in the securities market? Like we discussed, customers need to be assured that market professionals have basic competency. When we go to a doctor, do we go to any random person or we go to a certified doctor? We go to a certified doctor, obviously, because we don't risk with our health. Similarly, wealth is also very important. So we don't risk our wealth also. Who wants to take unnecessary risk, unreasonable risk with their existing money? So when somebody approaches you, you are a distributor or you are a broker in the market, you are an advisor in the market, the person who is approaching you, he should be assured, he should have assurance that the market professional, that is you, have a basic competency to guide him in a correct path. आपको सही रास्ते में, उनको सही रास्ते में गाइड करने का आपके पास वो क्वालिफिकेशन एंड आपके पास वो नॉलेज, बेसिक कॉम्पिटेंसी रहना जरूरी. दैट वो कॉन्फिडेंस कस्टमर के पास होना चाहिए. फॉर दैट आपका सर्टिफिकेशन, एनआईएसएम सर्टिफिकेशन विल शोकेस दैट टू द कस्टमर. और कस्टमर को आपको एनआईएसएम सर्टिफिकेशन वो कॉन्फिडेंस दिलाएगा कि यू नो a minimum knowledge, you have the minimum knowledge to guide him in the right path. Then professionals also, as you guys as professionals, you must be at the topmost of the market. You need to be continuously up to date with your knowledge development and whatever is happening in the new developments in the market, both on the regulatory front, regulatory side में क्या क्या changes आया है recently, and products क्या क्या नया products आया है, new innovations आया है, what are the new operational changes, all these things आपको जानना जरूरी है. देन एम्प्लॉयर्स को भी, आप किसी को एम्प्लॉयमेंट के लिए अप्रोच करेंगे, आप सब ब्रोकर बनना चाहते हैं किसी का, या आप कोई भी म्यूचुअल फंड हाउस के पास जाएंगे एज ए म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बनने के लिए, द एम्प्लॉयर नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड whom they are hiring, how much time they need to spend to train you. If you have NISM certification already, they know that to clear the certification, you have gone through a lot of reading material, you know what is required to be a mutual fund distributor, you know various products that are there in the mutual fund space, equity funds, debt funds, hybrid funds, all these you know. So that confidence the employer has. So employer knows that you already know a lot about that particular segment, and his training period will be very little, and then you can hit the ground running. You can straight away within maybe a period of 1 week time, you can be productive for that employer. So that kind of a comfort that the employer gets. Employer को वो भरोसा मिलेगा कि आपके ऊपर ज्यादा उनके लिए टाइम वेस्ट नहीं होगा. With NISM certification, they can direct you'll be productive for the employer. Then from the regulatory side of it, regulator, when they go for the inspection, they'll verify whether all the compliances have been ensured, whether that particular broker or a fund house or the distribution house वो सारे compliances follow कर रहा है नहीं कर रहा है, all the regulatory compliance. उसमें one of the compliance is उनके साथ जो भी लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, वो broker के साथ और distributor के साथ, whether उनके पास सही knowledge है, that means उनके पास NISM का relevant certification है या नहीं है. So ये regulator के लिए important है to ensure investor protection ultimately. So role and functions of NISM, as I mentioned earlier briefly, NISM is established by SEBI, the market regulator, SEBI, as an autonomous body to promote securities market education and research. This certification ये अकेला नहीं है that NISM offers. NISM also offer other long duration programs, the postgraduate diplomas and postgraduate programs in securities market. And in securities law, we have training programs. These are residential programs in our campus in near Mumbai, in Navi Mumbai. But apart from that, since today's topic is mainly certification, these are self-study and there is no campus or no direct interaction between us. We provide you the study material and the candidate will go through the study material and he book his examination slot and he comes and take the examination as per his comfort. We have training test centers spread across the country. We have more than 250 plus test centers where examinations are happening almost on a daily basis. So you can come and take the examination anywhere. So SEBI ka CAPSM regulation ke under NISM certification works under that. The objective is basically the objective of NISM certification programs are to develop and implement certification examinations and the continuing professional education, that is the CPE programs for professionals in Indian securities markets. So a little bit of history for you. NISM का पहले एग्जाम लॉन्च हुआ था May 2009 में. To be precise, 5th May 2009, our currency derivatives was our हमारा पहले एग्जाम था which we launched. And after that, till now, NISM currently has 19 mandatory examinations and 7 non-mandatory examinations. So basically mandatory examinations means these are examinations which is mandated by a particular regulator. कोई एक regulator ने उनके particular उनके jurisdiction में एक particular segment में काम करने के लिए ये एक specific examination of NISM को mandatory किया है. Like the example I have taken earlier, आपको mutual fund distributor में as a mutual fund distributor आपको SEBI के AMFIC का registration चाहिए तो then NISM 5A mutual fund distribution exam है, that certificate you should have. So these similarly equity derivative segment में काम करना है, you have to be associated with a mutual fund equity dealer or equity broker and operate the terminal, then आपके लिए equity derivatives का certification is a mandatory certification. So like that 19 mandatory certifications of NISM are existing as of today. And apart from the mandatory examination, just for your knowledge enhancement, if you want to do certain examination, we have 7 such non-mandatory examination. These are voluntary examination. Anybody can take this examination. These are not mandated by any regulator as such. ये कोई regulator का mandatory exams नहीं है, but they help you in enhancing your knowledge in the space of, let's say, taxation. SEBI doesn't mandate this in the taxation space, but आपका knowledge enhancement के लिए taxation will be useful for you. We'll come and discuss each of these examination in detail later. Apart from SEBI as a regulator,
एक छोटा सा सवाल आया है चैतन्य जी, वो ये है कि MCX and NCDEX डेरिवेटिव में कोई सर्टिफिकेशन की जरूरत है या नहीं?
जरूरत है. सपोज NCDEX and MCX में आपको कमोडिटी डेरिवेटिव्स में ट्रेड करना है तो NISM का सीरीज 16 एग्जामिनेशन है, NISM सीरीज नंबर 16 which is commodity derivative certification examination.
Okay.
So for anybody who wants to be associated with that broker, they want to become a broker or even a sub-broker, whom we call it as a approved user now, to become a salesperson in that space, commodity derivatives का कोई भी related person है. For them, NISM का commodity derivative certification is mandatory, whether they are dealing in NSE exchange में or NCDX में or MCX में, irrespective of the exchange, it is not exchange specific, it is function specific. आपको commodity derivatives में काम करना है तो NISM का commodity derivative certification लेना होगा. कोई भी exchange में आपको currency derivatives में deal करना है तो NISM का currency derivatives exam में पास करना होगा, वो certification का जरूरत होगा. आपको कोई भी exchange में equity derivatives में trade करना है, equity derivatives में business करना है तो then आपको NISM का equity derivative certification mandated रहेगा.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So similarly, IBBI is another regulator, which is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. The IBBI has asked NISM if we can conduct their 3 of their certifications in the valuation space. So NISM is conducting 3 valuation examinations, one in valuation of land and building, another is valuation of plant and machinery, and the third one is valuation of securities and financial assets. These 3 examinations, here the regulatory mandate doesn't come to NISM. NISM is examinations from SEBI as a regulator. These examinations belongs to IBBI as a regulator. Similarly, PFRDA, the pension fund regulator, is there. For them, NISM is conducting one retirement advisor examination. We'll discuss that further. So, in a way, NISM is a certifying body for 3 of the regulators currently. SEBI also, PFRDA also, and IBBI also are using the services of NISM as the examination administrator for their regulatory jurisdictions respectively. So NISM from day one, it started with computer-based examinations. We never had paper and pen-based exams. NISM always had from day one onwards in 2009 May onwards, we always had computer-based exams. For this, multiple choice is the most appropriate format. So NISM examinations are of multiple choice based examinations. Every day, all days of the week, every day 3 to 4 slots across the country. In most of the test centers, our exams takes place. So for a candidate, they don't need to wait for the exam. When they feel like they are ready to give the exam, they can go to NISM portal. I'll show you the portal also. You can go and register there, and you can enroll by paying the examination fee. As we discussed, is not costly at all. So you can enroll at your nearest location across these 190 plus locations, 190 plus cities or towns we are covering currently. In these 190 towns, we have 200 plus centers currently. So you can select whichever is your nearest center and go ahead with your exam enrollment. And on that exam date, you can carry that admit card, that hall ticket, and give the examination. So it's
Sir,
that easy.
online exam possible hai kya?
No, there's no online examination as such. These are all test center based examinations.
Okay.
So, but test centers, I can assure you, wherever you are in India, you don't need to travel more than 100 kilometers. Most of the people, apart from a few remote locations, the exam centers will be wherever you are, not more than 50, 60 kilometers. And in very few remote locations, maybe you may have to travel like 100 kilometers, nothing beyond 100 kilometers. So that kind of a geographical reach is there. So for candidate identification and to ensure that the same person is appearing and there's no exam malpractices, these examinations are being conducted as test center based examinations. So you will go there with your identity card, and the invigilator will verify the identity card with the person who came to the center. And once it matches with the attendance sheet that NISM has provided for that day, the photograph in that, then they will allow you to sit for the examination. So that's how the examination takes place. So far, since we are talking about the history, so far we have conducted 21 lakh examinations since inception. And in case of classroom training, the CP programs we conducted 6 lakh enrollments. That is 6 lakh people have sat in in one of these CP programs so far. Every year, if you take yearly, every year NISM conducts more than 3 lakh examinations. In one of these 26 are these, including IBBA exams, 29 examinations. Together, we cover 3 lakh candidates. These many exams we conduct every year. Similarly, every year, roughly we conduct like 2000 training programs. These 2000 training programs spread across India. The CP programs overall, they cover 90,000 to 1 lakh participants. They come for through these CP programs to renew their certificates. So why NISM certification examinations? Because the first benefit of NISM is for you, especially as a content providers, NISM provides authentic knowledge. And
one question.
Yes, please. Please feel free to interrupt any place, no problem.
Sure. So if employee is with broking industry for last 10 years, can he also attend CPE training program?
10 years work experience, yes, but not anytime 10 years. It's not a rolling 10 years. That means today somebody has completed 10 years, they are not eligible. For every examination, to take care of the people who are already in the industry, when NISM was launching that examination, as on that day, whoever were in the market for 10 years by then, for them, an exception has been given by the regulator to directly come for the CP program. Suppose the currency derivatives, as I said, or equity derivatives, we launched in 2012, equity derivatives, right? So, but as we know, equity derivatives as a segment in our exchanges, it's there since year 2000. So somebody has been there in the market since 2001 or 2002. So when we launched our examination, they would have already had a 10 years of experience or 11 years of experience. So for those people, SEBI has given this exemption that they can directly, with that experience certificate, they can come for the CP program directly. Right. But everybody else, the only route is first time they have to pass the examination, and next time onwards, they can come to CP program to renew the certificate.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So the first benefit, especially for the content creators like you, is authentic knowledge, authentic study material, authentic content that NISM provides on every aspect of securities market. Like we have seen, like there are so many verticals and very diversified segments in the market. Equity derivatives is very different from commodity derivatives, which is very different from interest rate derivatives. They are all altogether completely different from a person dealing with the depository operations, another person doing a PMS operations. So every segment, whatever आप जो भी segment ले लीजिए, उनका एक 300 to 400 pages of very authentic and very accurate up to date study material NISM के साइड से मिल रहा है freely for anybody to freely download that. Because this NISM sees this as a public good. It doesn't see it as only for its own exam जो ले रहा है उनके लिए ही ये बुक अवेलेबल रखना है, वैसा नहीं है इंटेंशन. सो सबके लिए फ्रीली डाउनलोडेबल है. इवन आप वो एग्जाम नहीं ले रहे हैं तो भी आप वो NISM वेबसाइट से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. लेटेस्ट मटेरियल आप यू कैन गो थ्रू दैट मटेरियल इफ इट इंटरेस्ट यू, एंड इफ यू फील लाइक वो एग्जाम देने से आपको फायदा होगा, यू कैन कम एंड गिव द एग्जामिनेशन. अदरवाइज आपका नॉलेज एनहांसमेंट के लिए वो एग्जाम वो मटेरियल यूज कर सकते हैं. सो क्यूमुलेटिवली दिस 25 plus workbooks, each workbook, each study material, each book roughly of 300 to 400 pages of content, which is like 10,000 pages of ready-made high quality content available for you. Very authentic high quality study material or reference material for you is readily available on NISM website. I'll show you where it is. And then next benefit is up-to-date material, because this material, it's not like one time we हमने एग्जाम मटेरियल बना दिया, स्टडी मटेरियल बना दिया, उसके बाद हम रिवाइज नहीं करेंगे, वैसा नहीं है. हर साल सम ऑफ द एग्जामिनेशंस लाइक म्यूचुअल फंड हर 6 months एवरी हाफ ईयरली हम रिवाइज करते हैं उसको. वो हाफ ईयर और 1 year पीरियड में ड्यूरिंग दैट लास्ट रिविजन थे अभी तक वट एवर न्यू रेगुलेटरी चेंजेस हुआ है, मार्केट में न्यू प्रोडक्ट्स आया है, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज हुआ है, ऑल दोज थिंग्स गेट्स अपडेटेड इन दिस मटेरियल. सो आपको अप टू डेट नॉलेज, प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज मिल रहा है विदाउट रिफरिंग टू सो मेनी मटेरियल एंड विदाउट लुकिंग फॉर सो मेनी सोर्सेज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. आप एक मटेरियल रिफर कर सकते हैं एंड यू विल गेट ऑल द प्रैक्टिकल अप टू डेट इंफॉर्मेशन रिलेटेड टू दैट पर्टिकुलर सेगमेंट ऑफ द मार्केट. देन इंडस्ट्री रिलेवेंस. सी व्हेन वी प्रिपेयर दिस एग्जामिनेशंस.
सर एक डायरेक्ट सवाल है
जी
हमारे पार्टनर से
जी.
कि कौन सा सर्टिफिकेट होगा जो इक्विटी रिसर्च एंड रिकमेंडेशन पे कोई अगर कॉल प्रोवाइड करना चाहे तो कौन सा सर्टिफिकेशन करना है?
NISM सीरीज 15, सीरीज नंबर 15 बुलाते हैं हम उसको, सीरीज 15 रिसर्च एनालिस्ट सर्टिफिकेशन एग्जामिनेशन.
ओके, सो आई विल रिपीट दिस. अगर किसी को कॉल प्रोवाइड करना है, अगर रिकमेंडेशन देना है, तो आपको सीरीज 15 का रिसर्च एनालिस्ट का जो सर्टिफिकेशन है वो करना पड़ेगा, राइट सर?
Right जी, correct Amarav ji.
Done,
Yes.
done, done. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
We'll come to that in detail also.
Sure,
Then
sure.
industry relevance, when we say industry relevance, NISM does not make these material, study material or these questions in isolation. It doesn't decide what question, or it doesn't decide like what a person, mutual fund distributor exam. NISM alone doesn't decide this. NISM takes the inputs of regulator. If it is derivatives or any of the market related exam, inputs of exchanges it takes, and also market players themselves, the market brokers in the market, the mutual fund distribution houses in the market, the AMCs in the market, they are also part of the examination committee. For every segment, NISM has a different examination committee, and annual revision whenever we not only make these examinations, हर साल whenever ये exam को periodic revision करेंगे, every time we call the examination committee meeting, we meet them, we take their inputs, what is relevant, what is not relevant now, what we can हम क्या निकाल सकते हैं सिलेबस से, क्या रिमूव कर सकते हैं सिलेबस में, क्या नया ऐड करना है, और वो टॉपिक को कितना डेप्थ में कवर करना है. कुछ टॉपिक होगा वो ऑन द सरफेस जानेंगे तो काफी है ये जॉब परफॉर्म करने के लिए, बट कुछ और टॉपिक है वो बहुत डेप्थ में जानना जरूरी होगा. वैसा हम इंडस्ट्री से ही ये डिटेल्स लेंगे. दैट्स व्हाई आवर सर्टिफिकेशंस आर जॉब रेडी. व्हेन समबडी डज दिस सर्टिफिकेशन एग्जाम्स, क्लियर दिस सर्टिफिकेशन एग्जाम, एम्प्लॉयर पहचानता है कि दिस पर्सन नोज समथिंग व्हिच इज रिलेवेंट एंड जॉब रेडी. दे डोंट नीड मच टाइम टू बिकम प्रोडक्टिव देमसेल्व्स. They can start delivering results immediately. Then what NISM certification provides is a reliable, accurate, and unbiased information. NISM is a regulatory institute, so we have no motivation, we have no incentive to create any biased information, any taking anybody's side or promoting any particular entity. We have no incentive to do that. So whatever information that NISM provides is reliable, accurate, or unbiased information है about Indian securities markets. So आप भरोसा कर सकते हैं कि whatever NISM is telling, it's not coming with any hidden agenda. It is coming with a clear-cut objective of investor protection through knowledge enhancement of the intermediaries. Intermediaries का अच्छा knowledge मिले तो investor का benefit होगा. So that's the only objective. NISM's workbooks acts as a ready reckoner. Like आपको NISM का एग्जाम देना है नहीं देना है, फिर आपके पास NISM वर्कबुक रेफर कर सकते हैं. इफ आपको कोई भी डाउट आया वो सेगमेंट के बारे में, कमोडिटीज के बारे में कोई डाउट आया, तो स्ट्राइट अवे आप NISM कमोडिटी डेरिवेटिव्स वर्कबुक डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, रेफर कर सकते हैं, एंड आपका लेटेस्ट एंड अप टू डेट एंड रिलायबल नॉलेज इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगा. आपका डाउट क्लियर करने के लिए वो एक तरीका है. Then, as we shown earlier, these are affordable examination and easily accessible across the country in so many test centers and at a very affordable price. So, these are democratization of the knowledge in the securities market. सबके लिए आसान होना चाहिए, and it should be in the reach of most of the people, so that it is not the privileged, only privileged few people can have access to the market. Other people, even with the right interest in the market, they वो market में नहीं आ सकते हैं. वैसा entry barrier नहीं होना चाहिए. So a knowledge has to be not only monetarily affordable, it should be easily accessible. They need not travel very far distances to access this material. इसलिए study material is also freely available to download. Then it provides license to practice in respective segments. As we discussed, like for different segments, like abhi Amrabaji has asked a question. Somebody who wants to be a research analyst or equity analyst in Indian markets, who wants to give this buy or sell recommendation based on their equity research. The regulatory requirement as per SEBI research analyst regulations, they are supposed to clear NISM's series 15 equity research analyst certification examination. So it's a regulatory requirement as well. So by clearing,
एक सवाल और आया है.
जी,
if any sub broker is SEBI registered, is he or she eligible for the CPE program?
Yes, definitely, yes.
Okay.
But for everybody, first time through examination only they have to come.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Then they can renew their certificate through CPE program.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Right. So by clearing the NISM examinations, not only the knowledge enhancement, even the regulatory requirement also you will be able to fulfill. Because the regulator mandates that this particular segment somebody has to function, उनके लिए ये certification होना चाहिए उनके पास. Then, like we discussed, this establish a minimum knowledge standard for all the intermediaries in the market, which is uniform, fair, and credible. So the life cycle of that. So I'll quickly move on this. NISM certification development cycle. First, NISM either it gets a requirement from the market or from the regulator, or it identifies a particular need. Like recently when we launched a taxation in securities market exam, a market से ही आया था हमको कि saying that the market has so many products, equity side and fixed income side, and so many hybrid products, and इसका taxation अलग-अलग है. Each product का taxation अलग-अलग है. What is long term? कितने साल में वो लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स बन जाता है, कितने साल में वो शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स बन जाता है, वो अलग अलग है. तो उसका टैक्स ट्रीटमेंट अलग है. सो देयर इज नो सिंगल सोर्स ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. एक जगह पे वो सारे इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल नहीं था. तो ये डिमांड की बेसिस पे हमने व्हाट वी डू नेक्स्ट इज व्हेन वी आइडेंटिफाई नीड, हम जॉब एनालिसिस करते हैं. दैट मीन्स वी मीट द इंडस्ट्री, वी गो एंड ऑब्जर्व पीपल परफॉर्मिंग दैट रोल, एंड वो डे टू डे वो जॉब परफॉर्म करने के लिए उनके लिए क्या नॉलेज चाहिए. सो इक्विटी डेरिवेटिव्स में कोई डीलर है तो उनके लिए क्या चाहिए, म्यूचुअल फंड्स के लिए क्या चाहिए. सो दिस जॉब एनालिसिस वी डू, एंड वी प्रिपेयर ए रफ स्केच ऑफ व्हाट ए प्रोफाइल ऑफ ए पर्सन हु इज परफॉर्मिंग दैट रोल. वो डेली लाइफ में एवरीडे रोल में क्या कर रहा है वो रफ लिस्ट बनाते हैं. उसको वी फॉर्म ए कमिटी, एग्जामिनेशन कमिटी. वो कमिटी का इनपुट्स लेके उनके साथ डिस्कस करके we prepare a syllabus that is called test objectives. This is a detailed syllabus, like वो कितना डेप्थ में each topic has to be covered, कितना क्या क्या टॉपिक्स कवर करना है, क्या जानना जरूरी है वो जॉब परफॉर्म करने के लिए, what is not required, not essential. All these things are decided with the inputs of the industry as a committee. Then examination structure also, committee suggests that this examination should have 100 marks. This should be a 100 marks exam or 150 marks exam. And इसका पास मार्क परसेंटेज 60% होना चाहिए, 50% होना चाहिए, and whether negative marking should be there or not. So all these inputs the committee gives. This is what we call as examination structure. Based on this guidance given or the suggestions given by the examination committee on the examination structure, NISM management with the inputs of regulator decides what should be the pass percentage, all this examination structure. Then NISM gets into workbook development, that is study material development and the question bank development. And finally, it launches the examination. And if it is a mandatory examination, SEBI releases its gazette notification. Through a gazette notification, SEBI mandates that this particular examination has to be compulsorily cleared by this particular segment of the market. सो ये सेगमेंट के लिए जरूरी है करके रेगुलेटर रिलीजेस थ्रू गजट नोटिफिकेशन ये कम्युनिकेट करती है मार्केट को. सो दैट्स हाउ इट इज. एज वी डिस्कस्ड, ये पीरियडिक मेंटेनेंस भी करता है एनएसएम, सो दैट इट्स मटेरियल्स आर अप टू डेट एंड वो रिलेवेंट है मार्केट के लिए. Then see, in the first slide itself, we have seen what are all the various examinations available, all the 26 examinations. So some of you may be new to the market and you may say that, okay, what are the various functional areas? As functional areas, मुझे अभी प्रोडक्ट सेल्स में जाना है तो मैं क्या सर्टिफिकेट्स लेना है, क्या क्या ऑप्शंस है मेरे लिए. सिमिलरली मैं ऑपरेशंस में जाना है तो देन क्या क्या ऑप्शंस है. कंप्लायंस एरिया में क्या क्या ऑप्शंस है. सिमिलरली एडवाइजरी में क्या ऑप्शंस है. सो दिस इज अ रफ सेग्रीगेशन ऑफ वेरियस फंक्शनल एरियाज डिपेंडिंग ऑफ आपके इंटरेस्ट के बेसिस पे. आपको ऑपरेशंस में इंटरेस्ट है तो आपके पास ये ऑप्शंस है सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट्स में. सिमिलरली कंप्लायंस में तो ये ऑप्शंस है. सो जस्ट टू गिव दैट, एंड समबडी मे आस्क दैट यू आर कंप्लीटली न्यू टू द मार्केट, आप कंप्लीटली नया हो एंड आपको ये कौन सा सेक्शन में जाना है, आपको प्रोडक्ट सेल्स में जाना है, एडवाइजरी में जाना है या ऑपरेशंस में जाना है, आपके पास आइडिया नहीं है. देन इन दैट केस व्हाट वी सजेस्ट, सपोज आप फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट हो या यू आर स्टिल इन योर कॉलेज, ग्रेजुएशन और पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन कर रहे हैं, एमबीए कर रहे हैं, तो व्हाट एनएसएम सजेस्ट इज आपके लिए बनाया है सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट फाउंडेशन सर्टिफिकेशन. सो ये सर्टिफिकेशन आपको बेसिक आइडिया देगा. दिस वी कॉल इट एज आवर सीरीज 12 सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट फाउंडेशन एग्जाम. ये मटेरियल के थ्रू आप जाएंगे तो आपको बेसिक आइडिया मिल जाएगा कि ब्रोकर ऑपरेशंस मींस व्हाट, डिपॉजिटरी ऑपरेशंस मींस व्हाट, इसमें क्या क्या होता है. इन ब्रोकर्स ऑफिस इफ आई एम वर्किंग, देन मुझे क्या क्या करना पड़ता है. फ्रंट ऑफिस ऑपरेशंस क्या होता है, मिडिल ऑफिस ऑपरेशंस क्या होता है, बैक ऑफिस ऑपरेशंस, रिस्क मैनेजमेंट ऑपरेशंस क्या क्या करना पड़ता है, कंप्लायंस क्या करना पड़ता है. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स along with various products available in the securities market, mutual funds के बारे में, equity spot market, derivatives markets. So all these things not in a great depth, but a familiarity, it gives you a familiarity. आपको at least उसका पहचान आ जाएगा. Then after clearing that examination, it gives a good idea. Maybe you can make up your mind that, okay, with my kind of a inclination and my profile, my attitude, my aptitude, I am more fit for advisory. So let me explore the advisory space. So in advisory space, we have investment advisor एक है, or I want to do equity analyst बनना है तो then research analyst है, or I want to go and work with the NPS products पे मुझे advisory देना है तो रिटायरमेंट एडवाइजर मैं कर सकता हूँ. एंड देन आई कैन गो एंड रजिस्टर विद पीएफआरडीए, दैट इज अ पेंशन फंड रेगुलेटर. सिमिलरली मुझे म्यूचुअल फंड स्पेस में या पीएमएस डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन स्पेस में रहना है तो देन मेरे पास ऑप्शन है, अदर म्यूचुअल फंड फाउंडेशन और म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एग्जाम कर सकता हूँ एनएसएम का. या पोर्टफोलियो स्पेस में है तो पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजर्स हु आर डूइंग फंड मैनेजमेंट बेसिकली, विच इज अ हाई लेवल एग्जाम, डिफिकल्ट एग्जामिनेशन. और मुझे डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन स्पेस में जस्ट लाइक म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, मुझे पीएमएस प्रोडक्ट्स का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करना है तो देन पीएमएस डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर एग्जाम है एनएसएम का सीरीज 21A. सिमिलरली मुझे अल्टरनेटिव इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड्स में डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बनना है तो देन एआईएफ, दैट इज अल्टरनेटिव इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड्स, आइदर कैटेगरी 1 और 2 का एक एग्जाम है. एआईएफ कैटेगरी 3 विच इज हेज फंड्स रिलेटेड है, एक और एग्जाम. देन प्रोडक्ट सेल्स में वी हैव करेंसी डेरिवेटिव्स एग्जाम, interest rate derivative certification, equity derivative certification, commodity derivative certification. And if somebody wants to know about fixed income securities, which is debt market, we have fixed income securities. Before NISM has come out with this examination, ready-made material for somebody who wants to know about government securities market, somebody wants to know about money markets, somebody wants to know about corporate bonds के बारे में कुछ जानना चाहते हैं तो कोई रेडीमेड मटेरियल एक जगह पे अवेलेबल नहीं था. सो ये फिक्स्ड इनकम सिक्योरिटीज कोई रेगुलेटरी मैंडेट नहीं है, बट आपको डेट मार्केट्स के बारे में, फिक्स्ड इनकम सिक्योरिटीज, मनी मार्केट, जीसेट मार्केट, इसके बारे में जानना है. वो क्या क्या प्रोडक्ट्स है, उसका कंप्लायंस रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या है, व्हाट इज द मिनिमम टिकट साइज क्या है उसमें इन्वेस्ट करना है, तो ऑल दिस डिटेल्स वन प्लेस आप ये मटेरियल से पढ़ सकते हैं. देन ऑपरेशंस में आरटीए, दैट इज रजिस्ट्रार एंड शेयर ट्रांसफर एजेंट्स के लिए, कॉर्पोरेट दैट इज द लिस्टेड कंपनीज का शेयर्स उसका रजिस्ट्रार है ये. एंड देन म्यूचुअल फंड्स का भी यूनिट्स एक रजिस्ट्रार मैनेज करता है तो देन उनका एम्प्लॉयज के लिए आरटीए म्यूचुअल फंड एग्जाम करके उनको अप्रोच कर सकते हैं फॉर जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज. डिपॉजिटरी पार्टिसिपेंट्स में के लिए, डिपॉजिटरी पार्टिसिपेंट्स के साथ काम करने के लिए एनआईएसएम का सीरीज 6 डिपॉजिटरी ऑपरेशंस है एग्जाम है. एंड ब्रोकर का फ्रंट ऑफिस, मिडिल ऑफिस, बैक ऑफिस में क्या क्या ऑपरेशंस होता है, ब्रोकिंग फर्म में रिस्क मैनेजमेंट एंड कंप्लायंस क्या क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स होता है, ऑल दोज थिंग्स you can understand by doing series 7, NISM series 7 securities operations and risk management certification examination. Then merchant banking, आपको IPOs एंड FPOs के बारे में उसका कंप्लायंस कोई उधर काम उसमें वो एरिया में काम कर रहा है, और इवन कंप्लायंस ऑफ लिस्टेड फर्म, आपका फर्म का IPO लेके आना चाहते हो, या ऑलरेडी लिस्टेड फर्म है बट FPO के लिए आना है, तो देन इफ यू आर अ कंप्लायंस ऑफिसर ऑफ ए लिस्टेड फर्म आल्सो, आप मर्चेंट बैंकिंग एग्जाम विल बी मैंडेटेड फॉर यू. Even otherwise also you learn a lot about these IPOs के बारे में एंड ऑल, बहुत कुछ जान सकते हैं by giving the merchant banking material or examination. Compliance में we have SIC non-fund activities, which is again mandatory for compliance officer of listed firms. उनको whatever regular compliance required as a listed entity, as a listed stock market listed company, what are all the things they have to comply with, both to the market and exchanges as well as to the regulator, क्या क्या compliances follow करना पड़ता है. For that SIC, that securities intermediaries compliance, fund based non-fund activities is a requirement. Then taxation in markets is a voluntary examination, but gives a very good understanding of various securities market products and what is their taxation. Equity mutual fund hai to what is the taxation, what is considered as long term, what is considered as short term, what is indexation. All these things in one place you can understand from there. You can use it as a reference material also. Then social auditor is a new concept in most of the exchanges now. A particular segment is coming up called social stock exchange. Their social ventures, social space में जो भी है not for profit NGOs बुलाते थे उनको, not for profit enterprises बुलाते थे, उनके लिए fundraising was not so easy. So now they can come through a formal channel, and this social stock exchange will be a place where somebody the donors who wants to donate their money for a good causes, and the listed firms, the social enterprises who wants to raise money, they can come and meet on this platform. The social enterprises can raise money through this platform, and for this, the social auditors NISM certification we launched recently. So securities market is a big employment generator also for our country and for our youth. So a broad classification, not exhaustive list, but employers are like mutual fund distributors, asset management companies, commercial banks. In banks also, we can find employment opportunities. In merchant banks, brokerage firms, foreign exchange consultants, stock exchanges, investment advisory firms, or equity analyst firms, depository participants, PMS firms, other SEBI registered market intermediaries. In all these places, you can find employment opportunities. Some of the popular jobs in securities markets are stockbrokers or sub-brokers. Stockbrokers ke saath we can associate with the right certification, or one can become a derivatives trader, or a custodian, or a registrar and share transfer agents. We have seen both in corporate side as well as mutual fund side. Then one can become a mutual fund distributor, distributionship ले सकते हैं. You can go and register with AMFI के साथ register करके you can distribute mutual funds with NISM certification. Merchant bankers you can is a popular job. Then research analyst, that is equity analysis is a very popular job. Most of the people wants to be equity analyst. Then investment advisor and retirement advisor बन सकते हैं. Then portfolio managers and PMS and AIF distributors बन सकते हो, और compliance officers of most of the intermediaries are listed firms. These are some of the popular jobs. Then next 10-15 minutes, I will quickly take you through different examinations and whom it is suitable for, or for whom it is mandated by the regulator. So in the mandatory exam space, as I mentioned, currency derivatives was our first examination launched in 2009. So anybody who wants to work as a brokers, or who wants to work with the brokers, they can be sub brokers, or they are working in the broker's office and doing the client advisory, or they are a sales people working with a broker in the currency derivative segment, and they are dealing in the currency futures or currency options in the Indian exchanges. For them, NISM Series 1 currency derivative certification is a mandatory certification. Without that, you can't function in that market. Similarly, in a registrar and transfer agents in a corporate or a mutual fund, anybody under SEBI RTA regulations के हिसाब से, whoever are performing those operational roles of registrar and share transfer agents and are in the office of registrar and share transfer agents, they should have the relevant certification. For a corporate, that is for listed shares registrar, our Series 2A RTA corporate certification will be a relevant certification. for somebody who is a registrar for mutual fund units of AMCs who are managing the registry for them. For them, RTA mutual fund, which is our NISM Series 2B, is relevant examination. Moving next, interest rate derivatives, somebody who are dealing on the Indian derivatives exchanges, and you are basically you want to have a permission to do the trading basically for clients के लिए interest rate futures and interest rate options products में you are a salesperson in a broking firm or a sub broker, then आपके लिए NISM Series 4 interest rate derivatives is a mandatory examination. Similarly, आपको AMFI के साथ रजिस्टर करके कोई AMC का और ऑल द AMCs का म्यूचुअल फंड प्रोडक्ट्स बेचना है, देन आपको पहले NISM का सीरीज 5A सर्टिफिकेशन लेना पड़ेगा, एंड विद दैट सर्टिफिकेट यू कैन अप्रोच AMFI फॉर रजिस्ट्रेशन एज ए म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर. आप म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर बन सकते हैं, एंड विदाउट NISM सर्टिफिकेशन यू कांट हैव ए AMFI का ARN नंबर, and without ARN number you won't get a commission. Even if you do any sale also, commission won't come. So first NISM certification is important. NISM Series 5A mutual fund distributor certification is required, and with that certification and with an application to AMFI, you can approach AMFI and get yourself as registered as with AMFI as a mutual fund distributor. Then you can start earning your mutual fund distributor commission, trial commission. Then if you want to be associated with depository participant, if you want to be engaged or employed with registered depository participant in India, then NISM Series 6 depository operation certification examination is a mandatory exam for you. Next, if you are with a broking firm and dealing with clients' assets or funds, or you are dealing with investor grievances or investor grievance redressal, you are dealing with the internal controls or risk management function, or you are doing some activities which has a bearing on operational risk, इसमें से कोई भी फंक्शन. सो ब्रॉडली इक्विटी स्पॉट मार्केट इक्विटी ब्रोकर ऑपरेशंस के लिए सिक्योरिटीज ऑपरेशंस एंड रिस्क मैनेजमेंट is a mandatory exam. And even if you are not performing that role, if you want to have a good understanding, good idea about a broker's office में क्या होता है, what is the front office में क्या operations होता है, middle office में क्या operations चलता है, and back office and risk management functions क्या होता है, this gives a very good understanding. Then equity derivatives, like anybody who wants to operate the trading terminal and do a sales for the equity derivatives related sales, then for them NISM Series number 8, Series 8 equity derivative certification is compulsory. Mutual fund foundation may not be very relevant for you. This is for postal agents and all to promote the mutual funds. In 2014-15, the regulator has come out with a new cadre of people who are retired postal agents or government servants, retired teachers who has more than 10 years of experience. So a simple products, a subset of products, SEBI and AMFI has allowed to sell these products. Not all products you can sell, but under this simple criteria, you can sell only simplified products. So which may not be very relevant for you as a content creators and as a participants. Then moving next, other mandated are in the compliance space. We have compliance non-fund. This is required for compliance officers of most of the market intermediaries, whether they may be depository participants or authorized persons, then merchant bankers, underwriters, bankers to issue, debenture trustees or credit rating agencies. इनमें से कोई भी intermediary से के साथ all the registered SEBI registered intermediaries है, उनके साथ compliance officers जो है, they are all mandatorily have to undergo this certification. Then आप अगर आप investment advisor हो, SEBI registered investment advisor, और उनके partners है और उनके representatives of investment advisory firm हो, then आपके लिए as per SEBI investment advisor regulations 2013, you must at all points of time, you must have NISM Series 10 investment advisor certification examination. Without this, one is not allowed to do the investment advisory in Indian securities markets. Then moving on, merchant banking, again, as we discussed, where the key management personnel, the KMPs and the other people who are performing merchant banking activities and they may be the compliance officers of a merchant banking firms, they must have this merchant banking certification. Then research analyst, like you already asked this query, like anybody who wants to publish their buy sell recommendations, who wants to do client or who wants to publish their research as a equity analyst, then they must, under SEBI Research Analyst Regulations 2014, either it's a individuals or it's a research analyst firm, and in that, whoever are the research analysts, they must at all points of time must have a valid certificate of NISM Series 15 Research Analyst certification. So without this, they are not allowed to publish any equity research. Then, as I mentioned, the other regulator, Pension Fund Regulator and Regulatory and Development Authority, PFRDA, uses the services of NISM, and NISM developed an examination for the NPS distributor, the new pension system, and that product also has its own complexity. Like in that also there is an equity element, there is a debt element, there is other hybrid and alternative investment schemes also they can invest in. So whoever are distributing the NPS product, for them PFRDA has mandated that under the PFRDA retirement advisor regulations, all the NPS distributors, for them it's a mandatory to have the NISM Series 17 retirement advisor certification. But somebody who already have investment advisor certification mentioned here, PFRDA gives them an exemption from again passing the retirement advisor certification. So somebody who has NISM Series 10 certification, they can directly approach PFRDA for NPS distribution also. Then commodity derivatives, again, just like currency and equity derivatives we discussed earlier, if one is dealing with any, one is a member or a sub-broker or a broker or sub-broker or a member of the commodities trading ka member hai in any of the Indian recognized stock exchange, then for them, commodity derivative certification, that is Series 16 commodity derivative certification of NISM, ये mandatory है. Then portfolio management PMS products भी है, just like mutual fund products, slightly complicated, slightly higher level PMS products है. The PMS products का जो distribute कर रहा है PMS firms के साथ associate होके, all those associated persons who are engaged by portfolio manager as their distributor, who are distributing these portfolio management services, the PMS products, for them SEBI mandates that NISM Series 21A PMS distributors certification is compulsory. So please note, this is Series 21A PMS distributor examination is mandated for people who wants to become a distributor. Whereas for the fund managers of the portfolio managers, which is more advanced certification, because they are the fund managers and they should know more in depth of the markets and various products available. So for them, Series 21 portfolio managers, 21B, which is mandatory for people who are functioning as principal officers in a portfolio management firms, or all the other employees of portfolio management firm who has anything to do with a decision-making authority, who has a decision-making authority related to fund management. So for all of them, NISM Series 21B is required. So again, I'm repeating, if you want to become a distributor, for you 21A is sufficient, which is a comparatively simpler examination compared to 21B. 21B is for the fund managers and principal officers, which is a more advanced because they are dealing with the client's funds directly. Then we are done with the mandated certifications so far. Then moving to non-mandated, these are voluntary and only knowledge enhancement के लिए अगर आपको करना है, like I mentioned, किसी को सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट का कंप्लीटली लेमैन है, उनको अभी तक कुछ पता नहीं है सिक्योरिटीज मार्केट क्या है, इसमें क्या क्या ऑप्शंस होता है, क्या क्या करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज रहता है, क्या क्या फंक्शंस वन कैन परफॉर्म इन दिस, क्या क्या मार्केट सेगमेंट्स होता है, क्या क्या वेरियस प्रोडक्ट्स अवेलेबल होता है, उसके लिए a securities market foundation, even for a college students also, this gives a very good basic level understanding. Foundation, this makes a foundation. किसी का first foundation बनाते हैं, उसके ऊपर they can build anything, whether they want to build their career in operations या वो सब और decisions के लिए पहले ये certification या ये book पढ़ेंगे तो that person will be a little more, he can take a little more informed decision about which career option they want to pursue further. Then social artists, I already briefed you about. This is a new product in the market. This is more in the not-for-profit space, but listed on the social stock exchange segment of our markets. NSE has, BSE has, so we can explore on their websites also. Similarly, alternative investment funds के लिए category 1 and category 2, you would have heard of the products called venture capital funds or private equity funds. They are covered in this first category, which is category 1 and 2 certification exam. And hedge funds you would have heard of. So hedge funds related distribution करना है, कोई hedge funds का distribution करना है तो then AIF funds category 3 funds distribution will give good idea about that space. Fixed income securities, as we discussed, it gives a good understanding of debt markets, that is money markets, GSEC markets, and the corporate bond market. It gives a good understanding. So आपको इसके बारे में कोई भी जानकारी चाहिए तो you can go and download this workbook and read that. Then taxation in securities market, as I mentioned, there's a one comprehensive guide about any product that is traded in Indian stock market. उसका taxation aspects क्या है? So this is a one point source of information. आप कभी भी refer कर सकते हो. Apart from these are all the certifications we discussed. So now what NISM offers apart from this, we have dedicated help desk. These are the numbers and email ID. You can contact them for any queries, for any guidance, which certificate to pursue. Suppose I'm interested in, I want to become a broker in equity derivatives or equity spot market, underlying market. So what certification I should take? So this kind of a guidance, or how to register for NISM certification, or how to enroll for NISM certification. So for all these, you can either send a mail on this email ID, which is certification@nism.ac.in, or you can call us on this number, Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 5:30. Our help desk executives are available to guide you on these matters. Then next is regulatory update and CP programs. As I mentioned, every 3 years, the person has to undergo a continuing professional education program. And in between also, once you clear a particular examination of NISM, suppose you cleared the PMS distributor examination, then whatever latest regulatory changes happened, you may not be keeping a track of that. But on a monthly basis or a fortnightly basis, NISM keeps sending you one kind of a synthesis, एक digest form में, एक simplified form में आपको all the latest development, whatever regulatory changes which came up, what are the latest news related to that. So all those regulatory updates we share on your email ID to keep you continuously updated on your particular segment. Then apart from that, if you are an employer, if you are a stockbroker or a mutual fund distribution firm, and every day many people might be approaching you and you don't know how to verify their certificate. Everybody will be claiming that they have NISM series number so certificate, series number this certificate, I am already NISM equity derivative certified, or I am NISM mutual fund distribution certificate I have. But आपको कैसे verify कर सकते हैं? So इसके लिए NISM ने एक skills registry करके skills registry portal बनाया है. उसमें without any fee anybody can log in, and आपको आपके पास आपके जो भी पोटेंशियल एम्प्लॉई है आपको अप्रोच किया है जॉब के लिए, उनका पैन नंबर और उनका फर्स्ट नेम बेसिस पे सर्च कर सकते हैं उधर, एंड उनका सारे सर्टिफिकेट्स और उनका वैलिडिटी स्टेटस उधर पता चलेगा. सो आप सर्च किया आप कोई पर्टिकुलर अनूप कुमार के बारे में, सो अनूप कुमार so and so PAN number and Anup is the first name. If you search, you will get to see all the certificates which he has given earlier also, which have expired now, as well as what are his currently active certificates also. So all NISM certification you can verify without asking NISM. So then NISM website has a single point of source of information. So here, if we have time, Amrabaji, then I will take you through this. Otherwise, I can quickly just explain you briefly. So do we have more time?
We have time till I think 6. We have another good 20 minutes we have.
Okay, then see NISM website as a single point of information. When I say, I'll show you here. Hope you all can see my browser here, right? So here,
yes, we can see.
Yeah, so here on NISM website, there are these tabs like certification examinations, CP and ECP, these accredited examinations, examination committees, study material. So all these in one place you can get. So if you go to this place, nism.ac.in is our website, /NISM-certifications. If you come to this page, see in one screen, you will get to see a summary of all the certifications. Not only that, you can directly click on that and go to, suppose you have seen this list here. Either you can go from here also. Suppose you are interested in investment advisor, you can click on this, a submenu will open. You can click on this and go, or in this page itself, you can scroll down and you can see, okay, suddenly you see that, okay, investment advisor level 1 and level 2. What are these? You want to understand further. So you click on that and directly it will take you there. Okay. I'll minimize my screen a bit. Okay. Right. And then another interesting place will be on our website, the CP and ECP. ECP is nothing but an online CP program, whereas what we call as a CPE is a physical classroom based program. So here you will get all the details about CPE programs and NISM's ECP programs. What are the, if अगर आपको ECP करना है तो आपका technical requirements क्या है, लैपटॉप क्या होना चाहिए, आपका configuration and all that, and internet bandwidth and all the requirements to do the ECP programs, and all the available CP and ECP programs and उसका duration, उनका fee structure, all these things in one place. It's given on this page. You can refer to this. Then I'll show you.
एक सवाल जो बार बार मुझे पता है कि आपने बहुत बार बोला है, लेकिन एक सवाल जो बार बार आ रहा है वो ये है कि एक बार रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस जो है वो एक बार बोला जाए कि कैसे हो सकता है, रजिस्ट्रेशन करना कैसे है NISM एग्जामिनेशन के लिए।
Correct. I'll show you that. I'll show you practically.
और ये कैसे सेबी रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए कैसे इसको मतलब सर्टिफिकेशन से रजिस्ट्रेशन तक का जो सफर है, हाउ टू कवर दैट जर्नी,
Okay. I will briefly explain that portion also.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'll quickly complete this. So suppose, so from here you can come to, suppose you are interested in this securities operations and risk management. You go to that exam page as I explained to you. From here you can click on that link and go here, and you can see all the information about that particular examination and a quick summary about what is the fee. On the right hand side you can see what is the fee and what's the test duration, number of questions, maximum marks, and out of that what is the pass mark and certificate validity. All these details in one screen. You can see what are the examination objectives, assessment structure, what is going to be assessment structure, and test details, everything are there. And apart from that, what are the various candidate instructions and examination policies of NISM, what are the different policies you have to be abide by. Then in this examination, you want to see, now that you have seen the broad details, you are interested in see the curriculum or test objectives. So you can click on this link and it will show you detailed syllabus, like what this covers. This syllabus, when you go through, what are all you learn? You learn about securities markets introduction, market participants कौन है markets में, securities market में, securities broking operations के बारे में, the details about that, and risk management के बारे में पढ़ेंगे, and then clearing process के बारे में जानेंगे, and then settlement process के बारे में भी cover हो जाएगा, investor grievances and arbitration mechanism के बारे में पढ़ेंगे इसमें, other services provided by brokers, तो क्या क्या है. So all these things you understand that, okay, by looking at the syllabus you know that ये मुझे क्या क्या जानना है, and whether for that ये examination relevant है या do I need to look for some other examination. Then you can go to these frequently asked questions where we have whatever questions we frequently get. Maybe most of the questions you are going to ask me also may be covered in this, right? So who can take the examination? We try to address here. For whom it is compulsory and others के लिए voluntary है. Anybody can take. Nobody stops from anybody taking it. But for certain group of people, it's a mandate. It's compulsory. So, and for whom it is mandated, how can I register for this? So here the links and all are given here. You see that you can go here and then you can register. Registration is a one-time activity. For in a candidate's lifetime, you'll do one-time registration with NISM. I'll show you that also, that page also. And once you are registered, NISM verifies your profile, your photograph, your PAN number, we verify with the income tax database. And once we are satisfied with that, once your profile is approved, then you are free to take any number of exams, any exam, any number of times, any CPE program. That step is called enrollment. So you can do one-time registration. And once your registration is approved by NISM, which doesn't take more than 1 or 2 days time, after that you can come and do any number of enrollments for any number of examination. You can come back, you can keep on coming back to your profile, you can log in and you can keep on booking your seat. And what is the fee structure we are mentioning here? What is the assessment structure? Again, we are telling here. Study material, where is it available? Do I have to pay for study material? Do I have to appear for, how to appear for a mock test? If I have passed it, then when will I receive the certificate? So all these frequently asked questions in one place, you can see from here. Then this is about CPE. Again, same SORM CPE के बारे में जानना है तो this is a landing page for that. So here broadly it explains, and then what is the eligibility criteria? Not everybody can come for this CPE program. As we discussed, only few people are eligible. Either you are coming to renew your certificate or you are in that experience category, that 10 years experience as on date of this exam launch, or those criteria may you are coming. So who are eligible for this? So that explains here. And the FAQs related to that, you can see here. Then study material. See this, please note down this website name, api.nism.ac.in. So you can go there, and by giving your brief details like your name, your mobile number, and your email address, and your location, you'll be taken to this page. After that, here you can see all different certification workbooks, all this 26 plus one Hindi mutual fund distribution exam you can take in Hindi also. So the study material is also available in Hindi for mutual fund distributors. So for all this material, you can either view or download. You can click on this common derivatives. You can click on this. Let's say you are interested in PMS distributors. You can click on this downloads, and that is downloaded here. You can see. So this PDF file you can open and you can go through that material. So this, you see, this 248 pages of material is freely available for you to go through whenever you want. And if it is of your comfort, and if you want to, if you are really serious about that and want to give the examination, you can come and enroll for the examination and give the examination. Right. So like that, you want let's say mutual fund. So just in the same series wise, they are listed. So mutual fund distributor certification, download in Hindi. This is English, or download in Hindi. So this is the Hindi workbook for mutual fund distributors. So this is a Hindi material you can see here. Right. So then, yeah, apart from this, we also have some additional investor education material on our website. And a few financial calculators on our website, which we can use, like EMI calculator, SIP calculator, retirement calculator.
Sir, एक सवाल ये आया है कि are there any negative markings in the exam?
In most of the examination, there is a negative marking of 25%. I'll show you in the last screen when we are closing it. I'll show you again there in the summary. Most of the exams come with 25% negative marking. So that means either you should not attempt. आपको वो question confident नहीं है तो one good thing will be either you don't attempt that question, or you otherwise you'll be penalized. If you get the answer wrong, then you will lose. If it is a 1 mark question, you will lose 0.25 mark for that, because 25% is a negative marking. So if the pass mark is 60, if you are attempting all the 100 questions, and if you get exactly 60 questions right and 40 questions wrong, then your result will be only how much? 40 with a negative marking of 25% will be negative 10 marks. And you scored 60 questions correctly. That is plus 60, but minus 10. So your net score will be only 50 and your result will be fail, because pass mark is 60 and you scored only 50. So
Right.
if you are attempting all the questions, all the 100 questions, if you are attempting, then to pass the examination, you should have at least 68 correct questions you should answer. And with your 32 wrong answers, then 32 wrong answers, each one losing 0.25 mark, you lose total 8 marks there. So 68 positive and 8 marks negative, your net score will be 60 or above. So please remind that there is a negative marking for most of the examination. So either one wise thing will be, you don't attempt a question where you are not confident yourself. Don't try to guess the answer unless you are sure about that. Or alternatively, if you are guessing it, then you have to get at least 68 questions correct out of 100 questions to pass the exam. If you
Right.
are attempting all 100.
Sir, there's one more question.
Yes,
How
please.
many attempts are available to clear one module? Is there any cooling period?
No, for NISM exam, for SEBI, जो SEBI's jurisdiction में है, all these examinations, all the 26 examination have shown the series NISM series 1 to series 20, this 23, which is fixed income securities and social writers. None of the NISM examinations has any cooling period. But I also mentioned that NISM also conducts IBBA examinations. IBBA as a regulator, they have decided that there is a cooling period. So for their examination, there is a cooling period of 2 months. So if you are giving IBBA examination, which I doubt most of you may not be IBBA examination, because they're a little more specialized examination. Not everybody will find them relevant for them for securities market. So which very few people fall in that category. So for all other people, for most of us, for NISM examinations, whatever are applicable for us, there is no cooling period. So if you want to take the examination, you can take the examination today itself. 2-3 slots also you can book. Or you booked one slot today and then again back to back, you can come back for exam tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, one more question is there. If suppose an influencer is not SEBI registered, will NISM certification in advisory guarantee like can they do stock recommendations with that? I think that answer lies in the answer you gave in research analyst exam, right?
Right. See,
If anyone
NISM certification is only one of the requirement. See, SEBI in the investment advisor regulations and in its SEBI research analyst regulations, it says that there is an education element, which is a person should be a postgraduate holder in a particular in a few fields, like in postgraduate in finance or accounting or commerce, in these selected fields, he should have a postgraduate degree. On top of that, he should have, at all points of time, he should have cleared NISM, the relevant certification. Suppose if it is a equity analyst, for them, research analyst certification of NISM is relevant. So they should have that certification. So that is the second element. And the third one is a certain experience element also may be there, may or may not be there. That depends on what is your, if you are a graduate in research analyst space, SEBI says that you should have 5 years relevant experience. So these kind of things, only when you go through the regulation, these nitty-gritties, you will understand. It will be person specific. So NISM is one of the requirements. So it is not that once you pass NISM certification, straight away you will become eligible and you can start giving client advisory. You have to go and register with, that's why these intermediaries are called SEBI registered intermediaries, SEBI registered investment advisor, SEBI registered research analyst, because they have to go and register with SEBI. Mere passing NISM examination or getting NISM certification doesn't suffice. That is one of the criteria which SEBI looks into before granting you the registration or not. Before SEBI deciding, when you make an application for registration to SEBI to become a research analyst, SEBI registered research analyst, SEBI will look at these multiple parameters. Your net worth criteria also SEBI look at. Your education qualification SEBI looks at, and your experience, and if it is applicable. Along with that, in your application, SEBI also looks at whether you have NISM certificate, active NISM certificate of equity analysis, that is research analyst certificate. Similarly, if you are applying for the other certification, which is investment advisory, then along with other criteria, SEBI also looks at, in your application, SEBI also looks at whether you have cleared and you have a valid certificate of NISM Series 10, which is investment advisor certifications. Right. So what I'm trying to convey is SEBI certification, NISM certifications are one of the criteria. They are necessary condition, but not the sufficient condition. So apart from that, you also should meet other criteria also before you meet the criteria, satisfy the criteria of the regulator. Then only you will, SEBI will register you with, you can become a registered entity with SEBI, and then you can start giving these recommendations. Right?
Right, sir. So, sir, one more, I think, I think there is one more question which we have already answered, that is there any other certification for index and stock option, or it will be covered under equity derivatives section?
Equity derivatives covers both index options as well as stock specific options also.
Okay.
The company specific futures and options as well as index futures and options, both are covered under equity derivatives. Equity derivatives, it is covered. Similarly, if it is a commodity index based or something, then commodity derivatives will be the right exam for you.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So when we, whatever is the relevant derivatives exam, that covers not only the company, it also covers the index also. Similarly, commodity derivatives, not only it covers the bullion option or gold futures or gold options, it also covers the bullion if it is as an index, then that also it covers. Or metals index as such. If there is a futures or option products, our exam covers that also. Then that is the website part of it. Then I'm jumping on to the other website. This is our certification portal, certifications.nism.ac.in/NISM-AOL, or even if you type only this much is good enough, certifications.nism.ac.in. Or from NISM website itself, whatever you search, right? Whenever you try to register or enroll, suppose you are on this page and now you like this certification or you want to enroll in one of the certifications. So you can click on this page, register for a certification examination. That brings you here onto this, basically, onto this onto this website, certifications.nism.ac.in. Here, if you are already registered, you can give your earlier, whatever you are registered email ID and password, and you can log in directly and enroll for. That means you can book your slot by paying the fee there. If you are new account, if you want to create a new account, you can click here and you will see these instructions, like what all you need to be ready with. You should be ready with a scanned copy of a PAN card with you in a JPG or this format below 1 MB. And you should have with you readily a scanned copy of your photograph, a clearly visible, legible photograph, again in JPG format, and a scanned copy of your proof of address, again a JPG format, and your educational qualification and employment details. Need not upload any document here. You just can mention there in a relevant fields. You can type it there. So these things, it will suggest you to keep handy, keep ready. In case if you don't have the scanned copies, it is suggesting that you get the scanned copies ready and then come back. So then you'll say, okay, then it'll take you to this form. candidate registration form. As I mentioned earlier, this is a one-time registration. Once in your lifetime, you do this registration and NISM approves that registration, then you have this registration. You get your username and password. Like from the previous screen, you can always put those username and password and you can log in, and you don't need to come again and again for the registration screen. The registration is one time. So here we are trying to get your email address for any further communication. All NISM communication will be with your email address. So don't put your employer's email address here, because tomorrow you may change your jobs and you won't be able to do any communication. You will miss all the NISM communication. Also, even if you change jobs also, you can log in from here by using the same past employer email ID also. You can log in. But suppose you forget your password. When you try to forget password, the reset password link will be triggered to your whatever the registered email ID. So suppose by then, if you have left the job and if you shifted your jobs, then the link would be going to your past employers. So you won't be able to, you lose access to this. Then you have to create again, come and do the registration again. So we always advise that use your personal email ID, whether a Gmail ID or Yahoo ID. Use your personal ID, not your employer's ID here to register. Then you will set your password, confirm password, and you give your basic details, nothing great here. You give your date of birth, and then PAN number is mandatory because we verify your profile, your identity with this. And then you will upload the copy of your photograph and your scanned copy of a PAN number, Aadhaar number you are mentioning, and proof of address, any of the proof of, once we come only, this will be populated. So you can provide whatever is acceptable proof of address here. We will upload that document here. And then your address, and then your professional or educational qualification, you can mention whether you are graduate. I think the graduation details we can give in. And if you say you are employed, then it will try to capture your current organization so that we understand our candidates, who are our candidates, and can tailor-made our offerings, our certifications more relevant for the people. Okay. And there is a how to register and enroll online. See, you can click on this just below this new account. There is a link called how to register and enroll online. You can click on that, and there is a user guide given here, which clearly explains step-by-step tutorial hai. What are all the things we require to register with NISM and how to register. See here, the index itself is self-explanatory. It will tell that NISM certifications kya hai, how to register, and enrollment process for that. The flowchart ke through explain kiya hai. CP program में आने के लिए how to register and enrollment, again flowchart के through explain किया है step by step. How to register for NISM certification examination and CP programs, and how to enroll for certification, CPE, frequently asked questions. So all these are explained in this, see, through this flowchart के through properly explained है. You can go through this. Screenshots are also given so that step by step you can see this, and you can do this, and still you are stuck. You can give a call on our help desk number. I gave you the help desk number and the email address of help desk. You can put your screenshot there, whatever your error you are getting, our person will get back to you immediately. Right. So these are some of the things I want to show you. The same.
Thank you very much, Chaitanya ji. I mean, this is really comprehensive.
Yeah. And this is the skills registry. So this is the last thing I wanted to show. Skills registry, I told you, for verification of certification status, whether you are really have a certificate or you are bluffing your employer will be able to verify from you. Right. So those are the things. So you can note down these email addresses, the URLs. One is for this information, nism.ac.in. This is a 1 point information, and it even takes you to the NISM certification portal where you can register and do the enrollment, and you can do candidate enrollment, and you can log in and enroll. And the last thing, I'm bringing you whatever we started with. We started our discussion with this screen, and we are ending our discussion with this screen. So these are the list of NISM certifications and their fee and duration and pass marks and all. And for most of the examination, they have a negative marking of 25%. Wherever, whichever exam you are interested in, I request you to go and visit NISM website and go to that particular exam page, and you will see on top itself whether there is a negative marking or not, and what is the pass mark, whether 50 is the pass percentage, 60 is the pass percentage, all those details are given there. So with this, I'll conclude. And for any place wherever you get stuck in your registration or your enrollment or any part you get, you face a problem, these are our help desk numbers. The telephone number and email address are given here. You can contact us on these numbers and we'll try to help you. Over to you, Amarabaji.
Thank you very much, Chaitanya ji, for this wonderfully comprehensive training session. And I have one question which I would want you to just address before we leave and conclude.
Please.
One of our users have asked us how to get SEBI license after completing NISM levels for individual, as I have cleared both levels but don't know how to apply for license.
See, briefly, I will explain. There is a, if you go to the SEBI website or even Google, maybe if you search for SEBI investment advisor regulations, right? The first link you will get is to the SEBI investment regulation on the SEBI website. On that, if you scroll down, there is a PDF file which comes on your screen. And if you scroll down, there is a Annexure A. Annexure A is a form, which is your application form to SEBI. There is the instructions also clearly what are all the things you have to meet to become eligible to become an investment advisor, which comprises of your educational qualification. Like I mentioned, you should be a postgraduate in banking or finance or commerce or accountancy or this kind of 4 or 5 in insurance. So these kind of criteria are given, educational criteria. Your net worth criteria is also mentioned there. You should have this much of net worth if you are an individual, and if you are a corporate, then your net worth will criteria will increase. Right. So those details are given there, and then you will fill that form. Along with that, attaching whatever is the required documentation, you will apply to SEBI. Right. And then SEBI will scrutinize, and then they will contact you and they will be in touch with you. And then from that point onwards, actually, NISM is one of the requirement. One of the requirement is NISM certification, but SEBI takes over from there. So if you, as I suggested, please go to that, please even simple Google search SEBI investment advisor regulations, and you will get that PDF file, and you can scroll down and see that somewhere close to page number 16, 17, around that page number, you will be able to see the, I can show you here itself if SEBI investment advisor regulations. This is all you need to do. The first link is this, and either you can download it from here, or you scroll through, and these are the first regulation is there. In regulation also, I think sub-regulation 7 of this will explain all the eligibility criteria and all that. I'll try to show you that. What are the educational qualifications and all, very detailed they have given there. And in case of any other queries, you can refer to this, and then you can contact SEBI also. Here, the form is given. Yeah, here the form comes here. So the footnote and, oh, sorry. I think not this one. Investment advisors regulations, yes. Yeah. So first schedule. So here the instructions are given, general instructions. And then if you scroll down a bit, then you have this form A, form B. So these are the forms you need to fill and submit to SEBI, applying for that. And these are the net worth criteria. These are the fee you need to pay, and net worth criteria and all are given above also in the regulations. So this is where you need to refer to. Your other criteria you need to refer to here.
Thank you, Chaitanya ji. Thank you. And I don't find any other questions which we haven't answered already. So if you would want to finish with any concluding thing for our audiences.
No, these are what I wanted to convey, unless
Okay.
people have any other queries. But
I would request you to please, if you can share the presentation with me, then what I can do is I can create content over it and I can share it for awareness among our content creators, and they can also use it if you can.
Okay, I'll get back to you on that.
Sure. That would be
Yeah.
nice. And I would like to request Harkamal, who leads our vertical, if he can just conclude with his views and his thoughts on today's session.
Yeah, thanks, Amraba, for this. Firstly, thank you, Chaitanya ji, for giving us this time of yours and sharing the knowledge which is highly valued by each of our creators and our team. And we look forward to seek more guidance from you in the future as well. But this has been absolutely value add for each one of us, and I would want only thank you for giving us time again. To Angel, on behalf of Angel, I want to thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you all the participants for your patience hearing. I hope this is of some value for you, both for your professional journey as well as for the content side of it also.
Yeah.
This is
Thank
very
you.
helpful. I am already getting a lot of messages that it was very helpful.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
So thank you, Chaitanya ji, and thank you, Amraba, for organizing this along with all the DRAs. Thank you.
Thank you, Harkamal, for facilitating this. Really appreciate it. Thank you,
Yeah.
Angel One. Thank you, Angel One Management, who organized this. Thank you so much. Everyone, have a good weekend. Merry Christmas to all of you in advance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chaitanya ji. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.